All right, guys, welcome to the Bridon League Open Cup. I'm Egag. Going to be joining me here is Mr. Blackadder, who I almost called Mr. Black Ratter, but yeah, it's going to be a fun and interesting day of Dota 2 here at the Bridon League. But first, how you doing, Mr. Blackadder?
Not too bad. It would have certainly been an interesting start if you called me Black Ratter. I
Yeah.
hate rats. Ugh. Rat
It'd be
dodgers
like
are so...
Ratter, not Ratter.
Okay. I suppose that's a little bit better, but I suppose as we stand, we got Vega versus xGame, so this should be quite a fight. I do like both of these teams, cast them a good number of times by now, and well, we're starting off with a Troll Warlord and a Brewmaster ban.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Juggernaut band either. I'm actually sick and tired of seeing him already. I don't mind playing the hero, but it's just kind of getting a little overplayed as of late. Everybody's just playing him in pretty much any scene, and that combination is just way too dirty. Even with the minor nerf that did hit a couple days ago to the range of the Omni Slash, it's just he's so strong. Mask of Madness Manta build, where can you go wrong?
I suppose it's a nice contrast, however, because Juggernaut in previous years of Dota 2 has not seen
Yeah,
anywhere near the fame it has now. And
yeah,
all it was mainly was that base attack and base damage increase from the agility gain. They actually took out that one armor he would have gained there, so he didn't gain any extra tank ability. But it is quite a nice change for me, at least, considering I've been casting this game for so long, and he is hands down my favorite hero in the game.
yeah. All right, all right. I gotta say my favorite's Earthshaker. He hasn't seen too much light as of late, but one day the great Cal will make his return. So we see the Vengeful Spirit as well as the Zeus coming up for the bans, and there's the first pick on the Juggernaut for the X Games side, and a strong ban to start. I'm surprised, no Wisp, nothing yet, nothing crazy, no high prioritization on that support there, but who knows? It could still make its way into the game.
The Wisp is more situational, though. I
Yeah.
mean, there are some times when you see a Wisp and you think, oh, this team, it's perfect for them. Iconically, it's Team Secret, but now No Talent's gone elsewhere. We'll see. But it's more of a situational pick for the team. I mean, Vega, they could run a Wisp, but who would play it is the question.
Yeah.
Then what would they pair it with? It raises a lot more questions than with any of the iconic players of the hero, but we'll start out with a Puck and a Skywrath Mage.
Okay, so a fun stat that was thrown out there at Starladder was that Puck has one of the lowest win rates right now, and even Dendy couldn't carry Na'Vi on that as they did lose against MVP Phoenix. And we'll see if Vega Squadron have anything up their sleeves for that one. Pairing it with the Skywrath Mage, though, some decent silence, some good lockdown with the coil if they do break it, and you just drop a Mystic Flare on top of that, and you're good to go.
Indeed, you are, but what I'm going to be looking for here right now for Vega is at least their second support pick, because I'm expecting a Skywrath Mage to be paired of all heroes, the one you mentioned, the Earthshaker. I mean, it's a very powerful combination still and has been since 6.1, and it can fight up against the Axe, since Axe really wants to get in on top of you. Skywrath and Earthshaker, they initiate at long range, they can kite out heroes very nicely.
Yep.
I think that might be the order of business here for Vega, at least after the second ban phase. And when you look at these two lineups already, yeah, I was expecting the Faceless Void ban out from X Game.
The only problem is, the Skywrath Mage has no armor. He can get chopped through pretty easily. Like, a Blink Call on top pretty much just is a guaranteed death for the Skywrath Mage. So he's got to really watch out for that. The call's also a decent amount of control onto the puck if you can actually avoid, getting phase shifted. But that's a whole other story. So joining the bans with the Void will be the Omni Knight, the Dazzle, and waiting for one more from Vega. But like you said, the Earthshaker wouldn't be too bad of a support pickup with the Skywrath Mage. Oh, they pick up the IO. All right.
Okay, ignore everything I said a second ago. They're going to go with it. What are they going to pair it with, though? Because
Tiny.
there's the tiny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say, is it going to be tiny, and then do we always have to be hesitant of the split push that they can bring to the table?
Or just flat out
relocate,
fight, man.
take buildings. Yeah, they can flat fight, but if the game does come to that
Yes,
situation
of
where
course.
you need to dodge and you need to take specific fights, IO Tiny can take buildings so easily.
Yeah, they can. Um, you know, Normally when teams want to try to get the IOs in the first phase, and then you can kind of see it get countered out with a band of a Tiny or a band of a CK or even, PA or something like that. But they get it straight up. They got what they wanted, so I'm pretty sure Vega Squadron's happy with that. The TA and the Ancient Apparition are picked for X Game, though. And quite honestly, the Ice Blast is pretty crucial against the IO. You do have to hit the target that is being overcharged and such and stop them from getting healed up. And later on, Ice Blast is good for finishing off targets too. If he can get his Ags by about 34 minutes is the okay timing for it. The TA mid, though, going up against this IO Tiny is going to be tough, even with Refraction being a pretty good spell.
I'll agree to that, but I think more in line with what this Templar is going to be doing. Even if the Templar does not get a good start in the mid lane, the Axe can be the recovery mechanism here, and this will give Juggernaut time. The Call is very nice in combination with the Psy Blades, and the Templar Assassin, the Meld Strike, against Tiny, who starts with 0 armor, IO, 0 armor, Skywrath, 0 armor. You're seeing the theme here, and if it wasn't banned out, I would say Dazzle would be perfect for XGame, but they might go for another negative armor hero of some description at this point.
I mean, the Desolator is going to be picked up by the TA for sure. Like, she's going to tear through all these people, so... thinking of a good person to hold a medallion, possibly. Jeez, everybody's gone.
If they want a good person to hold a medallion... I mean, it's greedy. The Lycan is an option. But
Visage, maybe?
Visage would be the one that you would think of, since the physical damage of the birds, the extra stun, but we're going to get the Abaddon.
So I guess you can break the coil and then just rely on the Aphotic Shield, if anything, for that, but that's a little situational there. You can't really kill the Abaddon later on in the game, so you could be a good face tank for a couple seconds for the Tiny and try to set up for something with that. I'm just thinking of all the situations that could happen right now that makes this Abaddon pick decent. Like, being able to take off the slow or, like, stuns in general. Can you Aphotic Shield Lasso? I have not seen that interaction in a long time.
I don't believe you can Aphotic Shield Lasso. That, at least in Dota 1, was regarded superior magic, so it shouldn't be able to. But the Abaddon here, the amount of sustain he will be able to bring to any push, be it through shields, be it through the Mist Coil heals, this is what their goal is, just to keep their pushes going. They've got the heals of an Abaddon, they've got the healing of a healing ward, throw in the damage and power / control of the Axe TA, and, well, the Ancient Apparition is most important, the Ice Blast to stop the healing of the enemy side. It's a nice flow of momentum in XGame's favour in my mind, and based on the drafts, I do quite like XGame.
I do like XGames quite a bit more too, but, you know, I'm never going to count on an IO Tiny. If they get any kind of momentum going on early on, you know, just once he gets the Ags out there, he'll just start chopping everything down with his tree. So, they also have the Bat Rider too, and Pasha Bashu is going to be playing that, or Pasha Bashu? I thought it was Pasha Bashu, but I might be wrong. You know, the IO Tiny late game is always going to be scary and relevant. Like, if he goes for the Daedalus route later on, he'll have those critting cleaves, and, I mean, it's always just tough. And once he picks up an AC too, like, the attack speed, the armor he's going to get is going to be pretty nice. XGame really needs to get rolling early, and they need a sub 10-minute Blink Dagger for Axe so he can start setting up stuff for the lanes.
That's going to be easily doable in my mind, though, unless we see a lot of aggressive rotations through the jungle, per se, because I doubt the Axe is going to be off-laning in this case. He's probably going to be forcing the jungle very quickly. But if the jungle is warded out or repeatedly being ganked, then he's going to have a poor time. But the heroes on Vega's lineup, they can't really accomplish that much until the Bat Rider comes online.
Yeah, he needs to have a pretty safe lane, and, I mean, if he gets shut down and left at level 1 early on in this game too, then he can't resort to, you know, just going straight up for Firefly farming in the jungle, because, you know, level 1 Firefly isn't the best. He's also going to rely on getting some stacks, but, you know, mostly the stacks are going to be going over to the IO and the Tiny, seeing as to how they normally stack with the hard camp and the small camp there. Or the medium camp, excuse me. So, we got little doodles on the map too, seeing where XGame want to go for their early level 1 strategy, as they're picking out actually that they want to possibly block the medium and the hard camp there. So
I could see that being a good idea, in all honesty. It's going to reduce the things that the Bat Rider can have stacked and given to him for an early Blink Dagger. And, well, how do you stop the Bat Rider? You stop his dagger for as long as humanly possible.
Yep. That is going to be a very, very big thing for them to do. Especially early on, man. Oh, boy. A lot of things can go wrong for the Vega side, and the same for XGame. Like, there's so many worse things to worry about for the Vega side. That, like, once the Juggernaut gets that Mask of Madness out and then just starts Omni slashing away, and it's just tough. And you already have 3 targets with 0 armor, so jeez. And also the Bat Rider has a fairly low starting armor as well in the 2, so that's gonna be tough. Very, very tough.
Well, for me, early game-wise, it's going to be Bat Rider versus Axe. I mean, the tri-lane, or, well, the jug lane can accomplish a few things, but I highly doubt we're going to see much of that. The Juggernaut's just going to want to get that early farming time, and unless we see some unforced errors, I can see it all being down to Axe and Batrider.
True. Very true. These blink timers are going to have to be very, very on point. It looks like a little bit of a delay, though, from Vega. Unfortunately, one of the members hasn't really connected in yet. So we got to wait for them. But, I mean, we're still theory crafting. Like, the AGS timing for the AA is going to be pretty big. That's a big counter to the Wisp. And, I mean, they don't have really any good mechanism carrier either for Vega's side. So I'm assuming that the Wisp is going to probably pick that up. But that delays, the possibility of the blink tether shenanigans to come on through there, as well as.
I doubt we're going to see Blink Tether be a big impact in this one. This is going to be more traditional IO. I think we're going to be seeing the urn, bottle, mech, the items that give him the sustain and the ability just to keep funneling his team with health. Yeah. That is the most important thing. Keep feeding the bigger, tankier cores. In other words, keep feeding the puck and keep feeding the tiny.
Mm-hmm. That's the main goal, honestly. Just get this tiny as fat as possible. So let's just do some little introductions here. Already some nice little tree clearing out by the Wisp. We got Seaman the Slayer playing on the tiny. We got ours on the Aya playing over on the Scareth Mage's Undershock. Over on the Wisp is no one. And then up top will be Pasha Bashu on the Batrider.
And Undershot could actually be in a lot of trouble here. Does get seen by the Axe now, and I don't think they're going to be able to catch him down. The Skyrath's going to be more than enough safe. But I suppose on the flip side of that coin, we've got Stalcat on the Axe. We've got Bignum standing in on that Templar Assassin. On the Juggernaut, we've got Mantis, of course. We've got Reeves on the Ancient Apparition. And I believe that does leave us standing in for the XGame lineup, Vlad on that Abaddon.
Yeah, 2 stand-ins for XGame. So we'll see how they play with that and communicate. XGame, they've been a team to make some upsets, but they've always been kind of like tier 2 team. As unfortunate it is to say that, but they're still trying really hard, and this is a good event to make a nice little name in. So we'll see. The Bridon League, guys, you can pick up a ticket for it and have some fun with that. Some little promoting there. I already like what Stalcat's doing, though. He's gonna cut the wave. And Abaddon with a Photic Shield too just makes that so annoying.
Yeah, the only one that can make that any worse is a Dazzle, just for all of that heal bomb possible action. But the wave cutting up against no one is going to be very painful to deal with, and you're going to need rotations down here to dislodge this. The best thing you can do when you see this happen is send 2 to 3 heroes down here just to stop these kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, so let's see. They have the Skywrath Mage, but what is he going to do? He's going to walk in, throw some Arcane Bolts out, but the Mist Coil trading is not the best for the Abaddon, so. Let's take a look across the other lanes here. The TA Bignum, he already lost his first refraction charge and is going to have to eat through some of those tangos, as this Tiny's not going to have to lead the lane anytime soon with the Wisp just tethering and healing him up.
No, this is one of the nicer things about this kind of style. The Tiny's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Bignum, be able to break that refraction if he needs to with Avalanche, and just still have the mana being fed by the IO when he needs to come in.
Yep, and also they got a really good ward out deep here. They put down the Sentry ward and they blocked off the medium camp quite a bit, so that's going to suffer for the mass farming of Seamus, so he can't really spike early on in the game if he gets set back, which it doesn't look like he's going to be at all.
Well, I think the most important thing right now is keep an eye on this middle lane, considering the amount of damage being thrown into Bignum. He did get opened on a second ago and got knocked down to just under half health with pretty much no recourse, no way to get anything in exchange for that. This is going to be a very punishing lane for him.
Yeah, and down bot, Stalcat, he's still going mono-a-mono with these intelligence heroes, man. He just doesn't care, just keeps chopping through them and trying to get some spins on. He also has an early pickup in the boots too, so really able to chase them down and hope for some counter helixes.
Top lane could have a bit of trouble. Pasha Bashu almost gets brought down by a crit. One more hit would have been enough to finish off the Batrider, and just Mantis can't find it seems.
No, very, very close there. 80 health, he's still staying though. He's got some tangos. No salve, unfortunately, but he'll try to sustain up in that lane. I'm probably just going to watch up there, seeing as to how they could look for a dive. They do have a cold feet, so going to have to watch out.
That lane I don't think will be able to dive very easily. Not up against the Batrider with Firefly and Napalm. They have no hard stun to lock down a hero. If the kill happens up there, it will be a completely unforced error by Bashu's Batrider.
And the early point in Battle Hunger as well coming into effect for Stallcat, slowing down Undershot quite a bit and chasing him down and trying to get those counter Helix procs from the wave. Fortunately, couldn't get it there, but you know, he's in such a good position. He's gonna have his Tranquil Boots already, and he's just taking complete control of the spot lane. This is gonna be one farmed axe.
And this is going to be the early blink dag you were looking for. He's going to have, well, he's got his boots, he's going to have his tranquils now if he wants them, but the courier will get sniped on the Radiant side of the map. That was a nice catch by Bignum. I believe that was a Psyblades attack, catching the courier.
Wow, all right. Through the wave line there, some good recognition of the TA power. He's going to get Avalanche and tossed up, though. This is not going to be enough damage to take him down. He does use the double damage rune in his bottle, and he'll just chug away at that and be fine. But a good snipe, that's a good global goal for the team. All right.
Yes, it is, and it's that kind of small lead that they need. And of course, no first blood has happened yet, so this could happen anywhere on the map still. If anyone gets it, it might be Basher if he can make a error on the side of the Juggernaut, or...
He gets the call. Oh, that puck is dead. No, he got the orb out. He jaunted. Ooh, that was close. One more counter Helix and he was dead.
Or more likely, Starcat finding a good taunt, and he almost managed it there, but a puck, of course, isn't the easiest hero to kill.
And it was a level
Top lane, however, Bashu going toe-to-toe with Reeves, and he may burn down. A couple more ticks of the fire would be enough, but he just can't get the range. Mantis almost burns down as well, just running through the fire. I suppose this is where the eternal antidote, don't stand in the fire, applies. But it's a rough game. Close attempts at first blood on either side.
Yeah, well played by the Bat, though. Just circling around Reeves, noticing that, the Shielding Touch had expired, and just really able to outdamage them. So, really well played. And, I mean, if they keep playing up like this, he could just get some sticky napalm in and just get a really, really quick kill. So, we'll keep that in mind. He's got 3 stacks already on Mantis, too, hitting him so hard there. Oh, boy, they gotta really be mindful.
Yeah, they do. It's just a case of caution.
Look at this. He's playing so close. Oh, there's the next Firefly. He misses the first sticky napalm. Gonna try to chase him out here. Second one connects. Gonna go through the tree line. There is a ward out, but okay, kills it. Oh, that is not good.
Basher's pretty much getting complete free control up here right now. These two heroes for xGame, both too low health to really contest the bat, and they're getting punished quite heavily for it.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Starcat.
Yep.
Starcat stalking towards that mid lane.
He doesn't have the Blink Dagger, but he's got those Tranquil Boots, so increasingly fast. Gonna look for the kill into Ars or Seema. Gonna find the taunt here. Can he get it? The call? Oh, they toss actually Bignum back into the tower. He does not have Refraction up yet. There you go. Finally pops it out, but will lose those charges so quickly. There's the Avalanche. One more auto attack from Ars. Will it be enough? He melt strikes the Disjointed, and the call comes in on the 2, and they turn it around. Ars is gonna fall to Stallcat, and in the meantime, they do end up picking up the kill on the TN and Bignum. And that's a 1-for-1 trade. Well played by Stallcat.
Indeed, a very nice little turn of events there. That meld coming out at the right time to disjoint the last auto attack that would have sealed his fate. And most importantly, that was first blood on Stallcat. That's going to get him very rapidly towards that Blink Dagger. He's already got 1,400 gold in his pocket. It's not far off. It's going to be an easy sub 10-minute dagger at this rate.
Looks like a sub 8 at this point, but that's being me really being optimistic, but we'll see. But it's possible. It's feasible. We'll see. There's no stacks, unfortunately.
No, I suppose there are no stacks, which is something they could have really done with Reeves while he was having an unpleasant time up in this top lane. But he's going to be able to get that dagger fast enough in my mind. And just being able to rotate into the jungle and not be contested, it's going to be completely fine for them.
Mm-hmm. And, with Stallcat kind of leaving down bot, it gave no one quite a bit of time to catch back up, get some good solo XP. Oh, they find level 6 and the coil onto Vlad, and that's just quick and easy work there. Good usage of the first coil. All right.
Just an easy pick off there. And the combination with the puck in this game, I do very much like, because if you throw the Dream Coil, you're going to have an easier time positioning pretty much everything on the side of Vega. I mean, there's no big combination per se, let's say, Mantis top lane.
Oh, no, he's not. Okay, he spins out. He's fine. But he loses the ward again. Man, that's a 50-second cooldown. They're going to look for the kill here onto Bashu? No, they can't turn it around. Just Firefly, way too strong in this matchup.
It's the lack of a hard stun more than anything.
Cold Feet? No? Okay, he won't proc that. But yeah, like you said, the lack of a hard stun. AA is just kind of useless. He can put some good damage out there, just not able to lock down this Fat Rider like you said. And look at that, just keeps throwing the sticky napalm and getting some auto attacks in to just cheap shot away at Mantis.
Yeah, it's incredibly punishing, and I'm surprised Mantis is being able to sustain up here all of these little attempts in his life. But I suppose what I was mentioning, bot lane with
Oh,
mid lane, even Skywrath Mage managing to clean up Bignum there. I'm guessing that was the first investment of Mystic Flare. No, it wasn't
oh,
even that. As top
whoa!
lane, Omni Slash comes out and Mantis cleans up the kill. Aggression on two fronts now.
Yeah, just too much action. I ended up missing both kills. I was trying to focus on one. Knew it was coming from one side, but diverted to the mid kill. So a 1-for-1 trade across the map, and gotta say it's in the favor of the Vega squad right now. Taking down the TA, very important kill. Another coil down bot onto Vlad, and just a quick orb coming in from no one and picks him up. Jeez, now this puck is very back into this game.
Yeah, a flurry of kills like that is going to set up the puck very nicely for that blink dagger that he's going to be looking for. I mean, all he needs really is this kind of control, and he can offer that hell without a blink. If he can find good dream coils or solo kills, he's going to be set in this game. But I was looking for, in the draft, a big ticket combination with that puck. Let's say, yesterday we saw Dream Coil Bloodright with a Bloodseeker.
Yep.
Everyone gets silenced. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
The other
so
combination
good.
I do like is the VS. I mean, just swapping out with the tether, guaranteeing the Dream Coil proc.
Oh, Bignum? No, he's not going to go for anything. Drops out the trap. Up top,
Top
we have a
lane.
relocate coming in too. Mantis is going to get lassoed up, stuck into the Firefly. He does spin out, but Reeves isn't going to be as lucky as he does get beat down by the Stone Man and Tiny. There's the Sticky Napalm coming in with the Avalanche, and wow, Bashu picks up the last hit there, and that's a 2-for-none quickly, and a really good use of the first relocate.
Indeed, it does give quite the advantage to the Vega lineup as well. Because if we consult the graphs for a moment, as we get that Blink Dagger on Axe for xGame, which could be the deal breaker here for what I was about to say. If we look at the graphs, you have a bit of a lead starting to build for Vega in terms of experience, about 1,500 experience, and they're recovering in gold very nicely. Only a 500 lead once again for xGame at this point, and well, could be quite the mid-game fight in my mind, especially if Bignum can continue farming.
Yeah, I kind of want to false Stallcat around for a little bit because he has that Blink Dagger. He's looking towards mid already. Really wants to get a 2-man call to the Tiny Wisp, as that'd be the most optimal. I don't know what that is.
Don't know what is.
Something is playing in the background of my computer right now.
Ah, I see.
There we go.
That's
That is weird. I don't have anything open or playing music, so I'm just gonna close the whole thing out. That was weird.
probably for the wisest, but we do see runes going the way quite heavily of the Vega lineup. They do help themselves to the haste rune, which is the most important thing. I mean, haste on a IO may not be the biggest rune, but refilling the bottle and just giving that tiny more health, more mana, it's going to be very nice in the short run.
They're really trying to get this blink out. I don't think they've spotted out Stallcat just yet, so trying to catch them with the element of surprise here. A hard camp pull is going to be initiated by the Firefly of Bashu, and this could be the opportunity that they're looking for. If he gets a call onto all those jungle creeps as well, and he spots him out, blink. Oh, he's not looking for it. Wow, he's just going to sap some XP and just blink out.
His blink dagger was revealed. They must have seen that when they were checking his items.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Sap the experience, get out, slow the Bat Rider down. It is really what you need to do. Just slow the Bat down. More importantly, however, we do get that urn up for our Zeke now. So big ticket coming. As in comes the Ice Blast call as well onto Seema. There's no hope to escape from this one. The burst damage coming through from Bignum as well, ensuring the kill. They lose the Tiny, relocate out by our Zeke, but he's going to come back in. It's like trying to do nothing at the minute with the IO, and the rotations just are too much now for xGame to really stand. They could look to bring down Starcat, but he gets healed. He's not going to go down to that last hit, but Omni Slash comes through. They clean up our Zeke. Can they get anyone else? I don't think so. No one's not going to be able to catch the Juggernaut that easily. However, he might catch Bignum, and in comes the turnaround. Might look for the call. Will catch it on to Undershock. Doesn't call on the puck, but kills him anyway. Gets the dunk. That's a double kill for Stallcat. 4-kill advantage the way of xGame. xGame's team fight just recovered them completely.
What a reinitiate by Stallcat there. That was so ballsy. Using the stick as well to just get back to a little bit of life to stay alive in that whole exchange. Reeves down bot. Gonna get some sticky napalm before we finish recovering from that last set of kills there. But okay, Bashu does end up fire flying away. But after that reinitiation, that was it. That fight was a done deal. Just comes back in, gets a chop. He was trying to get a 2-man chop out of there, but couldn't do it, unfortunately. But props. And the TA as well, getting Aphotic shielded and having refraction up, just impossible to kill. Mantis is gonna get caught out for a little bit. That's a DD. Holy crap! Just pounds him down.
A DD and the Avalanche Toss combination, and that combination done in the right order is a relic left over from Dota 1. It will actually do more damage if you Avalanche then Toss like that in synchronous.
Yeah, because you take more damage while you're in the air. It's pretty cool. I remember that mechanic from back in the day. Trying to find a call out there. Can't get it. The lasso comes in, and the Ice Blast does not connect, and that's going to be the lasso and this Mystic Flare combination. Jaunting forward will be the puck. No one going to try to get this kill out there under Reeves. He does not get the TP out in time, and that'll be a 3 for none globally out there. Some swift kills coming over to the xGame side, and now looking for... No, okay. I was like, what is this? Scareth Mage can't do Roshan by himself with an IO? This is impossible.
I think the way to look at this one is Vega have the better lineup at getting pickoffs. They've got a Bat Rider, they've got the IO Tiny, they're going to be pretty damn good in the smaller skirmishes. But in the big game, in the big 5-man fights, xGame I think will have the bit of an edge there. I mean, if the Ice Blast connects, you've got Omni Slash, the Taunt from Axe. I mean, Berserker's Call is, as one of my friends put it, RP on a 10-second cooldown.
I guess. But it doesn't really put them into a nice little center where you can just skewer them back, unfortunately. Oh, Ice Blast. Looking for it to connect. No one. Oh, nice. Phase shift. But it still connects. Oh, the IO. Finding a kill onto the Juggernaut. Wow.
Yeah, they keep picking off Mantis. They keep realizing, yeah, he's going to be farming away from the rest of his team. Let's punish him for it. And it's what this lineup can do so easily. I mean, there are two ways xGame can combat this. They either look to play 5-man Dota from the early point and push heavily, or they keep at least 2 people with that jug.
I mean, I've played a fair bit of Juggernaut myself, and kind of at times you're just like, I feel invincible. I'm just going to go split push like this, and then you're like, oh, I got silenced. Oh, I'm dead. What do I do? So I guess a little bit of that for him. And Reeves really isn't the best, support to kind of go with him, seeing as how like we've kept on harping on is that there's no hard lockdown besides the call from the xGame side. So they really need to keep the Abaddon with him.
Just to keep him alive more than anything. And the silencers, as you quite rightly said, are the bane of a Juggernaut. I mean, Juggernaut rarely goes for the BKB. He's not the best BKB carrier, in all honesty.
No.
But in a game like this, where you have silences from, well, multiple sources, you've got the Ancient Seal, you've got the Puck, I wouldn't be averse to seeing a BKB on the Jug, but again, this is something Draskell does say a few times. BKB can be a game-losing item because it doesn't give all that much outside of the magic immunity.
Yep. I mean, there's a fair bit of magic damage, but you can still get pulled in by lasso. The right clicks from the Tiny are still pretty immense, so there's just some things you got to keep an eye out for. This feels like a good butterfly game, though. It feels like a good, I wouldn't say MKB, but...
Not so much MKB, I don't think. I'd go for a butterfly, certainly, in the later half part of this game, but I would also advocate for, in this case, an Aghanim Scepter. But we are seeing that Manta as well. I would say the Aghanims would come after a Manta, then we'll go Aghanims into the butterfly, because the attack speed gain from the Mask of Madness and the Manta, combined with the extra bounces, would give you a good number more auto attacks during the Omni Slash.
All right. So we'll see which route he goes. I'm feeling the Aghanim Scepter, like you said before, but who knows? People have done weirder things. I've seen Mask of Madness Medallion Juggernauts before, and that was in the Chinese scene too. That was all sorts of weird, but.
It makes some sense, though. I mean, negative armor during Omni Slash, that's quite sick, and it's a very cheap early game setup.
The thing was, he was doing it at 30 minutes, and he just kept getting like 2 shots. He was pretty behind trying to recover with that, but it didn't work out as planned. So this game, who knows?
Yeah, well, we've talked about Aghanims as for a Juggernaut. However, let's take a look at the flip side. And Aghanims for the Tiny. He's very only close. 1,000 gold away. And when he gets that tree stump, it's going to be very unpleasant for the lineup of xGame. Their buildings will be in jeopardy. And, wow, the physical right-click that a Tiny can put out with that Aghanims, all he really needs from that point on is attack speed. I mean, Manta would be nice. Manta on Tiny is a pretty damn good item, but AC would be better. Hell, Mask of Madness if you're really feeling ballsy, but I don't think that's the order of business in this game.
I played against a Troll Tiny Wisp combination before, and it was pretty sad. We got wrecked. We couldn't push against it. We were like, what the hell's happening? But a sneaky Smoke Roshan coming from xGame right now.
That sounds about right. You really don't want to be fighting up against that. And Ice Path's going to fly top while Roshan's going on. It does impact on Bashu. The cool taunt is there. Bashu in a lot of trouble.
dead.
He's going to get cold. Relocate coming in for no reason, and they're going to. Oh no, they're going to potentially go for the extra kills here.
And toss. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
They managed to bring down the axe. I didn't think they'd be able to get the axe. He was too far away with the relocate, and I'm surprised they managed that one.
I mean, he did a really smart thing in calling a creep, and then just using that movement speed to get away. But the avalanche just kind of clipping him on the bare edge there. But well played, and I guess it's a successful relocate, you can say. But there was a lot of space created for xGame to get that Aegis up there onto the TA and Bigdom. And he's getting closer and closer to his BKB.
Mantis, unpleasant for him to be in. He just got chain silenced. Can he survive this one? I don't think he can. He'll go down to the Arcane Bolt. Undershock picks up the kill on Mantis. That's quite unpleasant to be at the receiving end of. He just got chain silenced into the grave.
Yep, and all right. Nice killing spree for him, too. And the only unfortunate thing is he can hand it over anytime. He's really, really, really squishy. So, I mean, he's been getting some kills, and, you know, support's picking up kills isn't the worst thing. But we do have the blink and the lasso ready. They do find themselves a lasso onto Bigdom. Silence coming through. They have to break the refraction first. He does have another charge if he can get out of the silence. He does get avalanche. Mystic Coil and a Photic Shield aren't enough to keep him alive. Okay, he comes back up a refraction, and I guess they're just happy with getting the Aegis for relatively nothing.
Yeah, I suppose. And they can just back up after that. They've now got to contend with the Abaddon right behind them, healing from full health, which is not exactly easy. Now they're going to go on Stalker again. Relocate comes in. The Avalanche toss combination is there, and, well, the Axe gets crated in this case.
Yeah, the Axe just getting destroyed there. And, I mean, SEMA, 4-1-4 currently, very, very strong. They use the relocate to bring out the Skywrath Mage back a little distance, since they didn't really relocate that far as it was. But, nice pickoffs. These relocates have been relatively effective, finding little kills here and there, and that's, you know, snowballed the Tiny into a position to have his Aghanim sub 20 minutes, and, I mean, that's just going to accelerate his farming tenfold.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's one of the nicer things about him, and they can start looking to siege some buildings as well. But I suppose we should take a quick look at the graphs at the 20-minute mark. Yeah. I mean, we've got about a 2,500 gold lead in favor of Vega, just because of the kills they've been getting with the relocate, the silence kills onto that Juggernaut. It's been an unpleasant game for Mantis in this case. He really needs to find more, but experience-wise, that's a 4K experience lead, and that's the kind of thing that can accelerate into quite the snowball a little bit down the road, considering SEMA, he's going to easily be getting that level 16 soon. That's not something you ever want to fight up against toe-to-toe. As the tether breaks, they're going to turn around and go straight onto Reeves. Can they bring him down? Not that easily. In comes the Juggernaut with the Omni Slash. Will be able to clean up the Tiny. Maybe quite the bit of over-aggression there. I'm not sure why they hung around for that one.
That looked really also weird, too, because Reeves pre-shot the Ice Blast and TP'd down, and the Ice Blast leaves from his body, so it kind of just came out as soon as he TP'd in. And it did end up connecting with the Tiny, not the explosion, but, you know, there's the relative effect. Up top, there's a lasso onto Stallcat, but that's not the easiest target to take down. He gets a call out there. He's got the armor as well as the stick charges. The auto attacks aren't enough. There's a side trap as well to slow down the bat, but he will end up falling. And now coming in, Bigdom with that haste rune, trying to turn around and get this kill onto the Bat Rider. Can he get it? Yes, he can. They're going to end up using the Mask of Madness as well from Mantis. The relocate comes in, and that will bring the Skywrath Mage to safety. But, very close exchange, and it actually goes into the xGame favor, seeing as to how they killed the Tiny in the mid lane earlier.
Yeah, it's quite the little scuffle there. Which, as you say, favors xGame, but I think the biggest thing there was the extra golden kill for that TA, because TA, yeah, there we go, now has that full BKB, and now it becomes also much more problematic for Vega. The BKB on Bigdom I can completely get behind. On the Juggernaut, not so much, but right now, Bigdom is going to be the big damage source, really, and he's probably from this point going to go either Desolator, as you said in the draft, or personally, I could see in this game a Manta being quite handy for him as well.
Oh, we got a blink call down bot onto no one. Oh my god, that damage. And he just gets chopped up by the call at the end of it.
Yeah, you really can't stand near creep waves, otherwise Axe, well, that.
Oh.
But in comes Bashu, he's going to find the lasso onto Stalker. They're going to just obliterate the Axe in response, so 1 for 1.
Alright, so nice response there. Good usage of the lasso from the batter. And that's the best thing about it, you know, he could be waiting in the wings, find a nice counter kill, and just wait for a relocate in from the IO Tiny. So, no relocate that time, but they will find a tier 1 out of it. And this is the best thing about the IO Tiny combination, is just, if you find a kill, you just go straight to pushing, and he gets the last hits on towers very, very easily. Not right there, though, but at other occasions.
A tower for a tower at the end of the day, then plus a kill for a kill. So pretty even in the last minute or so. But I have to wonder here what the order of business is going to be for xGame, considering their items are starting to all be online. They've got the Manta, they've got the Mask of Madness Jug. On the Axe, they've got the Blade Mail and they've got the Blink Dagger. I mean, Chivas would be nice on him, but you can't ask for everything, can you? No. He's actually going to go for the Aghanims, which is also, I suppose, a good choice in this case, just culling from a higher point. For the Templar Assassin of Bignum, he's got the important BKB. They've got their items online, with the exception of, say, the Aghanims on Reeves, but that's still quite the way.
Honor Shock, juicy kill, not gonna happen. Okay, Slocky, I couldn't find it, but that's a 5-1 Scarith Mage too. He's found a lot of kills, and he picked up a Ghost Scepter as well. So trying to nullify this this TA as well as the Juggernaut Omni Slash. So a pretty big counter there.
Yeah, I do like the pickups of the Ghost Scepters. I mean, there's not really much on the lineup of xGame that can really punish the Ghost Scepter. So makes complete sense here. I mean, there's no, say, Lion, there's no big ticket nuker. The best I've got is a physical damage. Ghost Scepter shuts down everything. Hell, I wouldn't be averse to seeing E-Blades either if the support do get the itemization for it, just to be able to protect other heroes.
It's been a while since I've seen an E-Blade Scarith Mage. Who knows? Ice Blast? It's ours? No. Okay, nobody's close enough.
I mean, on a support, an E-Blade, sure, you don't pick it up for the damage, you pick it up for the ability to save your teammates. I mean, would you prefer save yourself or protect one of your cores from the Juggernaut Omni Slash, for example?
Bashu gonna find the kill on the Reeves here. Gonna pull him back all the way across the river. Going on a nice little trip. Oh, he ends up not getting the timing, though. There's gonna be a blink forward from no one, and they knock him back as well with a flame break, and they commit. Okay, they use the coil. Ooh.
That was quite the heavy investment there, but it does get no one his Yules on the upside of things. But I'm concerned that they invested the coil just for that, considering this does give xGame a bit of an opening where they can look to fight.
Yeah, just pressure down bot now. That should be what they're looking to do. Vlad also, he's been kind of quiet as of late. He's found himself level 11. He's looking to get the mech, and really just trying to be that big support with shields, mech, and miscoils. Should be pretty easy for him to keep his team alive. In terms of their tower, though, they're going to force the glyph, and this is the last tier 1 for the side of Vega.
Well, these tier 1s, the tower advantage, it's going to be nice for xGame, but it's something that Vega can recover oh so easily with the tiny Eye of the Ire. But they need to start focusing more objectives, in my mind. They've got their big ticket items for the most part, except maybe one more onto Bignum, but he's already getting a lot of gold together, so we could look for a Manta on him. And the reason I say Manta is just to get out of these silences.
Ooh, big Ice Blast onto 3, actually, but no TP. They're going to look to just let that tier 1 fall and put pressure onto the tier 2 down bot. Glyph comes out, and I mean, they have relocate to rejoin this fight, if anything. The mech's online too for Vlad, so a lot of gets sustained for this. There's going to be a Blink Silence in as well. They get a lasso. No, Bashu just takes so much damage there. He's going to force Staff and try to run away. Yule's coming in with the stall cap. The relocate came in from the Tiny, and now look at that damage coming through. The coil comes in, but it doesn't matter. Stallcat just chops down the Man of Stone, and as well, no one throwing in that orb from the side cannot find the kill on the Mantis. In the backline, we did have Bignum chasing down, I believe it was the Bat Rider to get the kill. And no one gonna phase shift this. No, he blinks away. The great chase is on. Can he pick up a TP and get out? He's got 20 seconds left on that one. Gonna orb and jaunt up. And do we have Stallcat? He's gonna get the Yule. Self-Yule's actually coming through. Oh, can't get the call either. He's phase shifted, has the blade mode going, and it's just so annoying to chase this puck down. No one should be able to make it out of here. He gets the
You would hope so. He's running all the way into his base. I don't think Stallcat saw where he went. Otherwise, he could blink up to the high ground and just cull him, because he does have low enough health. But that fight was very long drawn out. I suppose that's credit to the puck here, credit to no one, to waste that much time. They'd spent so much time chasing him, they couldn't get that second objective, the tier 2 on that bottom lane.
Yeah, so well played by him. I mean, this tier 2 is at about 200 health too, so they could just revisit it at a certain point when the glyph is still down. So we'll see what they want to do. I mean, that last fight was okay for them. Killing off the Tiny, killing off the Bat Rider. Some really big kills for them, and I believe they didn't lose anybody.
Yeah, they didn't lose anyone, and I'm in complete agreement to that. I mean, the nicer thing would be if they could have killed the supports in the backline, but those Ghost Scepters, they just kept Bignum kited. He couldn't attack anyone. Just Ghost Scepter abuse, really.
And if they can get E-Blades, I mean, that'd be pretty weird. I've never seen that. Oh, relocate coming through. They're looking for a kill onto Mantis. He was dragged up to the high ground, knocked down by the Flame Break, but a Blink Claw comes in from Stallcat right now, trying to do what he can with this Blade Mail, but he's just going to be a second casualty. So just quick 2 for none. And some good warding I get. Actually, this ward doesn't see that. So just some good intuition there by the Batrider. Bignum going to get chased down, but Refraction just laughs at the tree stump there of Seema.
I suppose this is the nice thing about having a Tiny with the already having an AC on top of his Aghanims. I mean, from here, what do you really go for with Seema? You really just want more attack speed, and he can go for pretty much anything he could want. Then again, they might find Reeves. Do they have another Blink Dagger? Not for 7 seconds. Got a 4 stuff, though. No lasso. And going to be a bit of trade of damage. Do we see a re-engage up onto this Ancient Apparition? Yes, we do. Blink forward, but Ice Blast goes towards the pit, trying to buy some time, but Roshan is still falling. Pashu's just the distraction here.
I mean, this is dead. This should be dead. I don't think they're going to find anything. They're going to find a kill on Bashu. Can they get it? Actually, a nice use of the magic stick there, but he's dead. Bignum as well, going to get chased down. Mystic Flare committed as well. He's got to pop the BKB, going to get miscoiled, and they got the healing ward on top of that, but they find a kill on the Bat, but they traded for an Aegis, and I mean, they were really happy to just trade the Batrider there, just for the Soul Aegis for the Tiny, now making him near unkillable.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of advantage here for Vega, and willingly sacrificing the Bat for the Aegis, certainly the right call in this case. And I'm just looking for Vega now to wait for the Bat and then start focusing some more structures. They've got a good amount of time with this Aegis. They can look to do quite a bit of work, but we need to see that aggression onto structures. There is no point taking kills if you're not gaining objectives out of it.
That's for sure. So, some little things need to be worked on right now. And for that side of Vega, it's using the power of the Tiny and IO combination. But I mean, they've been doing an okay job with their picks so far. They're currently 5 kills ahead. You know, in terms of golds, it's been relatively even. Not the biggest spike. It's only about a 2,000 lead for the side of Vega. And then in terms of XP, you know, they have a little bit of a bigger lead there in about 5K for them.
Yeah, and I'm trying to suss out here what xGame can really do to fight back into this. I mean, without, say, getting a good pick off, they're going to have to take a team fight and then just get the perfect call to lock these heroes down. I mean, the most important one right now, I believe, would be to call Undershock, because the amount of damage his Mystic Flare is doing. Sure, the Tiny does a lot of work, but the Tiny can be dealt with. Whereas Undershock, if he's on the back lines just casting silences, slows, the same goes for the Puck. They both need to be really caught by the call and then killed during the call.
He picked up a Blink Dagger too, so this Skywrath Mage is actually pretty elusive. Oh wow, it's so unseen. You just don't get to see a Skywrath Mage this big. 5-1, 64 creeps. I mean, he's farmed.
Yeah, he is, and he's got that Blink Dagger as well, so he's fairly evasive, but we do see the BKB come up for Mantis, so the BKB Juggernaut that we were discussing earlier does occur in this game.
I mean, he's got spin, but he's not really able to manage it all too well right now. Finding a little bit of a call there onto the illusions, chopping them down too, but yeah, there you go. Oh, never mind. Those illusions were a bit of a bait, so they're going to look for this kill possibly onto the Axe. Can they burst him down in time? There's going to be a 4-man hit of the Ice Blast there. They do end up chopping them down with the Omni Slash, and they get the Aegis and 2 kills on top of it. The Puck in the back, no one doing some serious damage to Reeves, takes him down. Now they get to the second life here of Seema, who is just sustaining through. He's got the coils coming in, a Phonics Shield as well. Seema's going to end up falling. They take down the Aegis, they take down the Tiny, and now they're going to look for more. They pop Vlad's ultimate, but the Blink Out comes in from the Puck, and Undershock as well. So it looks like they're going to be able to get out of this. But in a 3-for-2 exchange, losing the Tiny, xGame come out ahead a huge amount.
Yeah, they just jumped forward by an absolute mile. Consider this. The Juggernaut managed to come in after the Ice Blast, which was perfectly positioned because they all gathered around the Axe. He didn't even need to call. That was the perfect call without it being a call.
Yep. They just kind of filed in a single line, and then Reeves is like, oh, everybody's going to get hit by this Ice Blast. I am ready to go. And then this Omni Slash afterwards, too. It's a pretty good combination.
Yeah, indeed it is. I mean, the Omni Slash on top of all of that, it just can cleave things to pieces.
So good. And, I mean, at this point, you know, Vega going to be like, all right, we need to get our Tiny, a BKB, and then we'll be good to fight into almost anything. And also, you know, the positioning just needs to be a little bit more crisp. That was some poor positioning right there from Vega Squadron.
Yeah, they got completely jumped out. That can't happen again. If that happens again, that will be tier twos, if not racks.
Yeah, the Desolator's online too for Bignum, so these supports stand zero chance of surviving against the TA if he does get a Meld Strike crit out there. Man. I haven't really looked at the items of... Oops, wrong button there. I haven't really looked at the items of the Vega side all too often, but they're getting closer and closer to just being about 3 items. They're going to find a Blink
forward.
Lasso.
They're going to go straight on a Bignum. The Mystic Flare drops doing some good damage, but the BKBs are up, and now you've got Seema just chopping everyone to pieces. Bignum will take a fall to the back of that Tiny, and this Tiny is just huge at this point. Trying to beat down on Starcat. Starcat's fairly tanky. Will get the Cull, however, onto the Io, which is a pretty big target, and now comes the Omni Slash. Looking to shred whatever they can. Gets the puck, now going for the Tiny. Make that 2. It's a double kill for Mantis, however, the double kill as well for Bignum, and the culling from Starcat as well. That is a 5-for-2 exchange in another fight that just does not go Vega's way.
No, and that was a buyback from the TA, which actually isn't even that bad. So, a 5-for-3 technically, and jeez, what a fight by xGame. I mean, Vega go into their jungle once again, and xGame are just like, all right, here, you can kill our supports, you know, whatever. Omni Slash connects perfectly with the puck. It connects perfectly with the Tiny as well. He's able to chop them down since phase shift is on cooldown. They force a buyback out of the puck too. He's going to try to defend this and be annoying and harass, but he's not going to get much accomplished there. And, I mean, with this healing ward, this tier 3 is just, jeez, they just cut right through it.
Yeah, with the healing ward, with the Desolator, all of the negative armor. 3 buybacks is going to do some, but not enough at this point. They need the IO, they need the Skywrath Mage as well, but now they're going to go for the initiation onto Bignum. If they can bring down the TA, it'll be good, but they need more than that, considering the Juggernaut is just tearing them to pieces. Down goes the Tiny, down goes the puck. Everyone gets culled. Cull for everyone in this game. Left, right, and bloody center. Bignum going to look to try to burst down Undershock, but no. The Ghost Scepter is going to buy more than enough time, and now Pashu trying to get aggressive onto Mantis. They will get the counter kill onto that Juggernaut, and they're going to look for Bignum as well, but Pashu still standing strong. They've got the Arcane Bolts going to bring down Bignum at the end of the day, but now you've got Reeves and Vlad back in the fight. They'll blow up the Bat Rider with the Ice Blast, but Reeves still could take a fall to Undershock here. Vlad trying to go toe-to-toe. This is a support war, and that's going to just be the end of the Ancient Apparition. However, now comes the turn on. Vlad going to be the next victim here. IO, Skywrath Mage. This is the combo to fear.
The support combination of your dreams. And a relocate coming in too. They really want this kill on the Vlad. They do get it. And they reverse 5-man it. Alright, so technically I guess that's like a, in total, 8 for 6, because the TA did use her buyback prior to that fight. And I mean, it's, look at that swing of XP, 11,000 XP, opposed to the 1,500 that xGame got. Like, most of that going into the supports though, but like, that's some needed levels. That's a lot of good XP. They're level 18 and 17 right now.
That is quite the sick turn of events there on that craft.
The IO is the highest level on his team. He's the highest level right now on Vega.
You know what I would love to see Undershock pick up? An Aghanim Scepter.
He doesn't have the mana pool for that right now. I mean, he could try. Oh,
well, if he's being fed by the IO,
true.
I mean,
that'd be dirty.
Everyone gets Mystic Flared. I've seen like 5 Mystic Flares on top of each other before.
It's 800 mana though. Oh god.
Yeah, 800 mana. He can cast it twice right now, but consider how much extra mana and health pool he will get from a Aghanim's as well, so that's going to help out. But the mana being funneled from an IO into a Skywrath Mage, just the level of damage that came out from Undershock when they were fighting the supports only. Sure, there's no Juggernaut in there hacking everything to pieces and no Tiny on the flip side of the coin, but Mystic Flare's not to be underestimated.
Nope. Alright, so maybe he could go for... It looks like he's kind of going for... oh, he finished his 4-staff. He could go for a Yule's. He could go for... Okay, I want to believe that I'll get an Aghanim's, but it doesn't feel like he will. So, I'll keep the dream alive in my mind here, but, you know, at this point, Vega getting a counter 5-man, I mean, now they're looking in an okay position, although the team fights really seem to be Vega's, if they can find a 2 or 3-man call, and if an Omni Slash does connect on the people without those Ghost Scepters. So, well, I kind of feel like xGame are in a little bit more control right now.
Yeah, I agree. They do have more control, but this game is still fairly close. I mean, Gold-wise, there's only 2,500 difference in favor of xGame. Experience-wise, in favor of Vega by about the same, near enough.
Yep. And
It's still anyone's game
just
in
a
my
roller
mind.
coaster, man. Just a roller coaster ride on the Graphics Press. So let's see. Next Roshan is going to be up in about a couple more seconds, about 40 seconds here. So we'll see who can get that next big Aegis and Cheese. That is going to be a very big one. Doodles all over the map as they are probably guessing where the Io and Tiny are farming right now, as well as looking for potentially another little invade into their side of the jungle and try to counter them out of the camps. They do have a smoke coming, and yeah, they're going for that invade strategy right now. They're not going
Well,
to find anybody.
if they can catch anyone, it'll be nice, and they do have quite the high movement speed, so they'll get a good amount of distance on this smoke. But my worry here is we get a case of ships in the night, and we see just a rotation from Vega here to the complete opposite part of the map, and yeah, they're going top lane. I don't think the Vega side actually see this coming. No, they've got
They
no
do
vision of
not.
this at all.
Nope, still smoked up, so let's see. First person you're going to see is the Skywrath Mage, and as soon as he pops out of the trees, he blinks away. They're going to find a blink in, but the Yules go straight on through. The Omni Slash connects as well. They're going to get the relocate out there onto the Tiny, but it's only a little distance away, and they pull him back in. I don't know what the hell that was, but as they try to keep fighting this one through, the coil lands onto 4. They're going to get a 2-man stun with that. They get the healing ward out as well, still sustaining through this one. No one in the back line, whittling away at the Ancient Apparition. In the meantime, the Io falls. There's a blink call there onto the Skywrath Mage, and they chop him down with a gem on the deck. And a quick 2 for none in the favor of xGame. And I mean, like I said, team fights in their favor.
As big as these supports are, though, they didn't get any of the big ticket targets. They didn't get the Bat Rider. I suppose they've got the lasso on cooldown right now. They didn't get the Puck, and they didn't get the Tiny, most importantly. And they invested a lot to try to bring down that Tiny. They threw Ice Blast at him, they put Omni Slash on him, and they even threw the Axe at him, and they couldn't bring down Seema because of the relocation and the protection offered by the Io.
Yeah, so, jeez. I mean, losing their big supports there is really rough. And coming into the pit right now is Bridon, doing the solo Roshan, using Refraction as it is a great spell. We do see as well Mantis going to come in through with his Mask of Madness, and this makes quick work of it, no problem. Desolator and right clicks, really good combination.
Yep,
Cheese
quite the scary
there
thing.
you go.
Cheese and the Roshan. This is going to really be the opening that xGame need to, say, force a tier 3. Tier 3s right now need to start to fall, and we do have some base damage already done by the xGame lineup. They've taken that mid tier 3, of course, a little earlier in this game, but they need to bring down one of these racks, and we're seeing that descent onto the mid lane from the entire lineup. Is it going to be a case of, do we see Tiny Io start to relocate and rat a little bit, or are they going to try to straight up man fight this one?
Looks like they're going to try to man fight right now. Seeing as to how the Tiny isn't there yet, the wave pushing up top is going to keep going forward, so we could see some pressure onto that tier 3, but they would end up losing a set of racks, which would be not the best case scenario here. Got the coil coming in. Aphotic Shield going to come through as well. They try to keep Bridon alive, and they do. Actually, that was very close. There wasn't even an Aphotic Shield there, but they just heal him right back up to full with that ward, man. The ward is so damn strong.
Yeah, it is, and I do like the fact that Stalker is quite literally keeping his entire team with the movement speed buff from Cole just by taking out creeps, and now possible re-engagement, looking to bring the Bignum, but look at this healing, look at this sustainability. They haven't even popped the Aegis yet, and Bignum can just front line this. He's going to help himself to another building, but in comes the lasso onto a creep. That's not what you want, but you've got Stalker jumping forward as well. Did find a taunt on a few. Now comes the Omni Slash Seema, taking a lot of damage, so is Arzeek, and they're not going to fall. The jumps aren't favourable, it seems, in this case, and the entire team will back up. Most importantly, however, Rax did go down.
Yeah, the big exchange on the racks and not losing anybody for that either is a great turn of events for xGame. And they also finished the Vlads on Vlad, so that is going to be really nice for the Juggernaut. That aura is going to help out a ton, give everybody some extra armor. And I mean, now there's a DD rune 2 bot, so that's like a god rune right now if they really want to push another set of racks in the bot or the top side. So good look to finish off the last remaining tier 2 from Vega's side.
I should think a rotation up to that top lane, take the tier 2, force the tier 3, and threaten might be an easier thing to do, considering they don't have anything really protecting their own tier 3 from, say, the IO Tiny. Whereas if they were to push out the top lane, they'd be able to defend their own bottom lane because they got that tier 2 still standing. If we see that rat style of play come out from the Tiny IO.
Yeah, that's a big if. I mean, it doesn't look like they're able to right now, even with the AC and the Ags going and the Manta style picked up too. So this could be the item to get that split push initiated, but again, they have to deal with supers in mid and a very, very big xGame lineup.
The xGame lineup, though, they can still fall. All it'll take is a good pickoff. I have said throughout this entire game, Vega's lineup is better at pickoffs.
It is. The relocate, big tool for that, but it just really doesn't feel like Vega are, getting that position since they're going to always be pushed in with those supers in mid. Down bot again, xGames are putting the pressure on. Oh, they even actually find out a Bashu there. And Blink Call going to possibly come in? No, it was actually a cooldown. But, all right. Look at that. He just keeps calling the wave, too. Just doesn't care. Wastes that mana and gets everybody some attack speed as well as some movement speed. Just go straight up to the high ground now. And this is a DD rune, too. That should have been activated? No, he used it a little while ago, unfortunately. And a Lincoln Sphere pickup, too. I really like this pick against the Bat Rider. And the silences.
Yeah, it would be very good up against the Bat Rider if the Bat Rider's in the last two creeps. Shots fired. It's going to be a case of next set of racks at this case, but in comes the Puck looking to do some harass with the Dream Core. Still, Bignum doesn't care. He's just going to chew through the building. They're just losing their structures without being able to take a good fight. There's the lasso on to Mantis. This could be a good one. They're going to nuke down the Juggernaut, but he manages to get that Omni Slash off after the BKB. That's a huge turn of events, and everyone has to run for the fountain. In the tree line, down goes the Bat Rider, and now you've got Seema trying to come in, trying to fight with Arzik. They'll bring down Reeves, and they've got Mantis on low health. He'll take down the Juggernaut with the cleave of the Tiny, but now they're going to try to bring down Stalker. Still got Bignum in the base, just trying to chunk whatever they can, but Courier will go down. Aegis is forced. Vega's going to try to turn around and kill this Templar Assassin a second time. Will succeed in doing so. That's a 4-for-1 switch right now, and I think it's about damn time we see some racks fall on xGame's half of the map. Relocate, it's time to rat.
Well, let's see where they go. They're going up top. They have a wave up there. Buybacks coming out through those, so this relocating might not be the best thing right now. Gonna see the Yules coming through trying to negate some of that damage. This is not an Aghanim Scepter up on the AA, unfortunately, so I'm not gonna have that increased duration, but what a really interesting turn of events. They got the bot racks, but then they kind of overstayed their welcome. The Omni Slash didn't connect to anybody either. It was just a solo Yules coming in too for the Bat Rider.
Yeah, I mean, just that fight just was a complete fail to connect from xGame. I suppose this is the thing. If they can force the Juggernaut to waste his Omni Slash and then disengage with the rest of their lineup, it does work out quite nicely for Vega when they can refight with full health, full mana, and Seema, most importantly. I mean, Seema is the linchpin of the team right now.
Yeah, he's currently top of net worth, too. They keep fighting back and forth between the Jug and the Tiny right now, so we'll see who can take it in the end. I mean, geez. 2 sets of racks down, 1 tier 2 and a tier 3 holding them off for getting megas on the xGame side, so we'll see if they can get this right now. Being sneaky right now, Vega, not going for any kind of wave pushing, just kind of waiting to see if anybody goes towards the secret shop. I didn't get a chance to see what was on the xGame courier, but it was a 5,100 gold total, so I'm excited to see what it spawns and what item was on there. Maybe a relic or something, so who knows?
A relic, 5,100, you say? That's more than likely 2 components of a butterfly, missing only the quarterstaff.
Okay.
I can actually check in a second. Give me a moment. I just need to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that set up for myself here, but we'll find out in 40
It's
seconds.
a full Lincoln Sphere, actually.
Oh, it was the actual Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, it's the actual Lincolns.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a pretty big ticket item to be locked on a courier.
Yeah, I mean, he could put that orb onto Mantis, and I mean, Mantis could just approach the high ground. He's been a big lasso target, so I mean, now they're just going up top and looking to pressure tier 2. So
here's something to ask you on this one. Can you see any reason why our friend, the Ancient Apparition, in this case, Reeves, has got... we thought he was going for an Aghanims, but now he's got himself an Ultimate Orb.
Lincoln Sphere. To get more orbs out onto everybody. Or, I guess they're spheres. Get more spheres out onto everybody.
Do you really feel a second Lincoln's is the right call over the Aghanims, considering Aghanims on AA is one of the best Aghanims upgrades in the game.
If the fights last long enough, and he's only level 14, so it's only level 2 ultimate right now. So, I mean, his thinking might be like, oh, I get some extra stats. I'll be able to apply, an anti-lasso kind of effect onto one of his teammates. Some good mana regen too, but you're right. Aghanim Scepter would be a little bit better thinking about the late game, but I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. Maybe he's going to go straight Scotty and get some slowing auto right clicks. I doubt it, but, that's just for fun.
We'll have the continued pushing coming out of the Tiny and the IO now. They're going to start trunking on this tier 2 on the bottom lane with some help of the illusions of the Manta. But is this style of gameplay really going to buy Vega enough time, considering a 5-man fight with, say, Aegis, that's now with the Roshan has respawned with another cheese? Is this going to be enough up against the full lineup of xGame?
I don't think so, quite honestly. xGame, man, just looking really good. Despite being down in kills, some little throws here and there, but they're shaping up now. The big ticket items are coming through. Once Mantis has his Abyssal Blade, tier 2 Diffusal, he should be good to go. So.
However, mid lane, fight starts out, in comes the Mystic Flare. Unfortunately, it's not going to connect to anything. Bignum will get the focus fire here. He will take a full. Stylecat going to try to go toe-to-toe with Timo. Vlad is there as well, but the Cull is there. Down goes the Tiny, and the Juggernaut is just queuing everyone else. That's 2 Culls. Looking for more. Blink forward. Can we get a 3rd Cull? Certainly looking for it. You've got the Battle Hunger ticking down, and Undershock will get spun out on, and the only one still standing, really. You've got the Bat Rider, and you've got our Zeke here on the IO, and well, you got Stylecat chasing you down. This is going to be a very hard one to escape from, but well, Azik is certainly giving it his all. Is there another call? No, it's not even needed. Mantis will pick up the double.
He got called through that tether, and it brought the creep wave with him up to the axe too. This looks like it should be GG. That swing was so big there in the gold turtles as well. Buyback status, I mean, the Tiny does have it, but does he really want to use it? So we'll have to see. They're not going for Megas either. They have to get through a tier 2, but they're going to try to just break the base right now. Alright, can they do this? Yule's buybacks galore coming in from the IO and the Tiny. Going to look to see if they can re-engage here. Yule's coming in onto the Abaddon as well as TPs. Coming forward, the Blink goes in, but he just spins on out and TPs through. Vlad might put the soul sacrifice here, as he's just giving up his life for the greater good. Avalanche toss, and he'll the full still. Alright, Aphotic Shield just playing with him in a bit, but he's dead.
This is the nice thing. They did at least get a kill off the back of the buybacks. I'd have liked it if they had got the Juggernaut as well, considering, but I think we need to see some form of counter push now. Tier 3 push coming out of Vega. They cannot afford to get tier 4.
I don't think they can make tier 3. I don't think they can do it. It just doesn't feel like they have the pressure to be able to really go break high ground right now. And especially with only an Abaddon dead, and the fact that the TA got to respawn. So, tough game. Tough game.
Yeah, still, Vega are going to try to fight back into this one. They are not out by any stretch of the imagination, and you still have this Tiny still gaining items. He's nowhere near 6th slot yet. He can still get rid of the drum and pick up something bigger, and he can still upgrade his crit into a Daedalus.
Yeah, once he has a Daedalus, that's where things get a little scary, a little sketchy. Able to just really cleave through everybody with that, and 1 crit, you're losing half your health. So,
that's assuming he doesn't get Abyssal bladed up by our friendly neighborhood Mantis.
Yeah, Mantis with the Mantis style, with the Abyssal done. I mean, he's been a key factor in these fights. He got some really good bashes last fight as well, and now he's got a guaranteed stun. So let's see, smoked up, looking to check the jungle. He's gonna run him straight right on into the Wisp and towards the Puck, who does get the phase shift out. Undershock looking to come back in here as well with his haste rune. Nifty as that. Alright, damage coming through. Look at all that. Forced out the Ghost Scepter already. And they want to try to fight this from the Vega side. Really surprising that they still feel confident enough to try to fight.
It's a case of they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they don't, then they are going to have to fall back, and they've already got 2 lanes of super creeps to contest with. They need to try to take a definitive fight. but that's not easy. And Bashu might be the victim here. Blinks forward, back. Everyone trying to get out of dodge, and the victim will be Starcat dragged to the side. Mantis will get focused and detonated. He's got the Aegis though. He will come back up. Ice Blast comes through, and this doesn't connect on anyone, unfortunately. Still, you've got Seema going to be able to go toe to toe with everyone. The Mantis there. Maelstrom comes through. Doesn't really tickle Seema that much, but Starcat can chase down. We're looking for the calls. We're looking for the culls. Yules is going to buy some time for Arzik, but he's going to get called, and we need to see some form of turnaround and fight from Seema. But if Seema goes down, this game might be over. He does have his buyback on cooldown, and he's going to have a very long respawn time. Abashu trying to slow everyone down, trying to protect his friend the Tiny, but he just can't save him. Down goes the Tiny. That's 100 seconds where he's offline. This is tier 4s. This is probably game.
Oh, Blink Styles coming in. I mean, they could try to poke and prod as much as possible. They're running some Mystic Flare harass, but the healing ward as well, just getting them all the way back into the space at full health. And yeah, like you said, tier 4 should be going down, and this should be game despite all the Yules, you know, just being really annoying. The side of Vega can't hold this one off, and that's going to be game 1, it looks like, going to the xGame side. Wow, well freaking played.
Yeah, that was quite the roller coaster, really. We had back and forth on both fronts, and it's good to see, but, well, xGame show they are the stronger side on this engagement, and they'll take game 1 today.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for this match. They are best of ones currently. So we have another game coming up where it's going to be, I believe, xGame versus 5 and 3?
I believe it's actually Vega versus 5 and 3.
Yeah. So we got that coming up for you guys. So if you enjoyed the cast, by all means, hit us both up, you know, at Mr. Blackadder, as well as at eGetCast, and follow HeflaTV. You see it all across the screen and such. This is the Bridon Cup, so you can also think about supporting that. And yeah, we'll be right back, guys, so stay tuned.